Okay, so this is for your GP. You are 60 years of age, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Every black man over the age of 45 is in a high-risk group for prostate cancer. Therefore, they are entitled to a PSA blood test because they're in a high-risk group. If they also have family history of cancer, that takes the risk even higher. So they are entitled to a PSA blood test, and they should have one at least once a year. I had one for 8 years when I was age 52, so I actually was quite late. It should be from age 45, and there's also an argument that it should be from age 40 if you're black. So if you're 60, you're already in the red zone. You cannot wait until you have pain. You cannot wait until you have symptoms, because that means that the cancer could have spread. Because once it leaves your prostate, right? Once it leaves your prostate, it can't be cured. So to any GP listening to this, please listen to what I'm saying. If a man, particularly a black man, over the age of 45, asks you for a PSA test, make sure you give it. Because if you send him away, and he waits until he's got pain in his bones, or in his lymph node, or caused by it going around his lymph nodes, that means it's spread. Once it's spread, it's hard to contain, and his treatment options diminish immediately. Whereas if he tests all the time, he's on top of it. If the number is high, I know the argument about it being inaccurate, forget that. Every man I know who's been diagnosed with prostate cancer started with a PSA blood test. You have to look at it as a three-step approach. There's a PSA blood test. If the number's high, you do another one. If the number's still high, that means there's an area of concern. It doesn't mean it's cancer. It could be an enlarged prostate. It could be an infection in the bladder. But then you have an MRI. MRI technology improved hugely 10 years ago. This is something, I've been to GP conferences where GPs now admit to me, yes, you're right, Colin, 10 years ago we told GPs, don't do PSA blood tests, they're inaccurate. But you're correct, you're absolutely correct. The technology's improved, and that message is wrong, but it's very hard for us to tell all the GPs across the country that the thinking has changed. I'm telling you, the thinking has changed. I'm talking to all the specialists and all the leading people in prostate cancer. So you need to understand it's a three-step approach. PSA blood test, if the number's high, do it again. If it's still high, have an MRI. The MRI will tell you the area of concern. If there's an area of concern, there's a biopsy. The biopsy will then tell you definitively whether it is cancer or not. It's a three-step approach. Please stop telling men that PSAs are inaccurate. They are still the best weapon for men to find out whether they've got prostate cancer or not. Otherwise, they find out too late, and the biggest statistic that is the most damning at the moment is that 12,000 men a year die of prostate cancer. That's bad enough. But worse than that, 10,000 men a year are diagnosed too late for a cure because too many GPs are turning men away. Please don't be that GP. Please do the right thing and let this man have his PSA blood test. Thank you very much.